Well, I guess if you guys want to start with it just being us, as in you guys, what made you want to go out into the wilderness and cover this crazy story you find in a magazine? What was the impetus to tackle this?
I guess for us it was a creative project that Tim had found this article in the Believer magazine, and it was something that neither of us are necessarily sports people, but the story itself about the Barkley and how unbelievable it is, how difficult it is, and the fact that people do this sort of as a hobby or for fun was pretty amazing. So we came from a perspective of the story of it rather than the sort of sports aspect of it. And that's really what propelled us. It was something that we wanted to do as a creative project outside of our regular jobs.
We'll get to those regular jobs in a second, but I'm curious, when you guys get out there and you realize how international it is, how many different interesting characters it is, was it difficult to pinpoint where you were going and who you were going to kind of tackle? I mean, it's an interesting group of people.
Well, the story we began with is the story of the race itself. And from there, we went to the race. It's a race, so you don't know what's going to happen. And so we kind of just went to use that as the backbone of telling this bigger story of the race itself, the history of the race, the culture of it. And it just so happened that year was an amazing year. And I mean, every year they have amazing participants, but this particular year was record-breaking and outstanding in many ways. So we got very lucky, and a lot of personalities stood out that helped us along of telling the story.
We really just tried to go to as many people as we could when we got there, and talk to as many people as we could, because we literally didn't know what was going to happen. So it was luck, I would say.
Is it tough to go from the confines of like working in a TV show element where you've got deadlines, you got to do this, to we're covering a race? It's set, go, boom. Like, what was that experience like?
I think we had, our background definitely prepared us for that anything could happen. But it's a completely different world from the world that we normally work in. So just, you have a giant crew, and everyone has their specific job, and that's how it goes. And, you have a schedule of the day and everything. So we went from that to, we were in charge of everything, and we didn't know what was going to happen, and everything could go wrong, and a lot of things did, and you just have to, fly by the seat of your pants and adapt and go with it.
Yeah, on a TV show or on a movie, commercial, what have you, everybody has this call sheet, and on the call sheet it's telling you exactly what you're going to do that day, and everybody knows exactly what's going to happen. People have rehearsed, and everything. So it's almost just a matter of just going through the motions. Whereas this, we have no idea what's going to happen, and so kind of, as she said, I just had to adapt constantly throughout the day, throughout the race, and then throughout the whole process of making the movie. Be adaptable. That was the most important thing, because at every turn something else was happening, and we had to be prepared for it.
I'm curious, has this inspired you to want to do more? I mean, to delve into documentaries like this, or maybe even fiction film? I mean, what has this made you want to do next?
I think it definitely has given us, we have learned so much from the process, and it's given us a better idea of all the things that we could do in the future. So I think having that sort of creative outlet and being able to make those decisions, and you're constantly being challenged, and you're learning something new every day, has definitely made us want to do more with that, and it's broadened our horizons, definitely.
It's almost from a selfish standpoint. We've said before, because in the end, we're the ones, we get to immerse ourselves in this other world and learn, so much about something. And this particular example we knew nothing about it, and we didn't know one person, we didn't know anything about the sport, and so we come to the other side, and we have learned so much, not just about the ultra running world and the Barkley world, but filmmaking. And we're always saying that it's sort of helped us grow as filmmakers for sure, but also just as human beings. We've connected with a whole other group of people that we would never have met. We've learned about another, basically a subculture that exists. We've met people internationally, and safe to say that we actually have made friends now around the world because of this process, and that is one of the best things that has come from it. How it has affected us as human beings, not just as filmmakers.
Wow. Well, I'm curious. We were talking about this earlier. This is a little bit of a mini, Mad Men kind of reunion with Matthew being here. What's this experience for you guys? What does it mean to be here in Austin Film Festival with him, and to know that you guys are being honored, basically, to be panelists and to be people that are showcased?
Well, by all means, it's Matthew's weekend. It's and we're honored just to be here at the Austin Film Festival. Certainly, we're here with the audience as well, celebrating him. But we do have a personal connection that it's maybe a little extra special for us. That we were able to help him with his vision, and we were able to see it unfold on set in front of us, from the incredible writing that he does, which we were always so fascinated by. Like, we were always trying to, get our hands on the scripts as soon as possible and read them, and then watch that unfold on set. Was just a great experience.
It's the one show where, like, a lot of times you work on shows and no one has any idea what's going on in the show. No one cares. And this is the one show where everyone was like, did you get the next script? And you wanted to read it and rifle through it and see what was happening. But we actually just ran into Matt, and Tim was saying it was like it's fun for us to, like, I was on that show from the very beginning, and I was the film loader, the first season, and I've since moved on, moved up from there and gone on from there. But I remember showing up on the first day and just being like, what is this? It's on AMC. What are we doing? And who are these people? Who's that guy? And but at the end of that first day, like, I always remember, I tell people, it's like, Matt was so appreciative of everyone being there, and he shook my hand, said, thank you so much for being here. And that was 7 or 8 years ago or something. So it's really fun to run into him here, and for him to be like, I'm so proud of you guys. And for a second we were like sort of peers, like filmmaking peers for a moment there. And so that's been half a second. We'll never be on that level, but it's really fun to sort of be here at the same time, and have him, be part of that.
Something that probably a lot of people know him as the writer and as the creator and showrunner and all those things, but he's a very generous person. He's always been very generous to us, and knows his crew by name and knows their personalities, and every time an accolade would come his way, he would be the first one to share it with the crew. It's like, this is ours. We all did this, and even though it's his, it's his work, and it all stems from him. He was always very generous about including people as, considered like a family, and to walk through the hallway in a busy, film festival, and for him to look and recognize the camera crew. I mean, it's almost unheard of, in Hollywood. So he's a very special person that way.
Well, guys, where can we find more information about the movie and you guys?
Yeah, we have a website, BARKELYMovie.com, and we're also on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, all the social media outlets, and they're all Barkley Movie. And this is our world premiere here, but we'll be putting the film out hopefully fairly soon. We have a very loyal and patient audience that has been waiting for the film for 3 years, so I don't think there's much longer that we can hold off actually releasing it. So we're trying to work all that out now. But BARKELYMovie.com is the place to find out more about the film.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. It was wonderful to chat with you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.